I've actually just lifted the organiser out to give you a better look of what goes into my GM. Hello there and welcome back to my channel. Today I am back with a video which is a what's in my bag, or what I pack in my bag, and I have chosen to do this video with the Neverfull GM. And the reason I have chosen to do this is quite often people would ask me in the Neverfull between the different sizes, the GM and the MM. I think the MM is probably more popular for everyday use. I have the GM. Now, please don't judge the state of this beloved bag that you can see. She is destroyed. Like, you can see the cracks and the tags are completely off, and there's damage to the canvas. She's a mess, and my intention is to retire her and replace this bag, and I will replace her with another GM. The reason for that I will get into when you see how I use the bag. But this, like, my husband takes absolutely no interest in luxury goods and very little interest in this channel, to be honest. But the one time he walked into a room and saw me editing a video that had this bag in it, he was like, I can't believe you've put that bag on a video because it's destroyed. I know, and I am going to retire her. The only reason I haven't done that yet, well, there's two reasons. One, I'm quite nostalgic and quite a sentimental person, and this was the first ever designer bag that I got. She has been through so much with me. She's been everywhere, and that kind of makes me not really want to retire her, but then I look at her and think, oh dear goodness. Second reason being, she is my work bag, so if we were back in normal life and going to work, going to the office, going out of the office, I would have replaced her already, but I go to the office the minute and don't go anywhere. Normally I would be out and about and would be taking this bag with me, and then I would be more conscious of what she looks like. But for me, the GM has been amazing. I have had this bag for nearly 10 years. Would you believe when I bought this bag, it was €550? That makes me want to cry when you think of the prices now. And I thought at the time, it was my first ever bag and I had saved for it. Like, I thought that was a huge amount of money at the time to spend on a bag. And look at the prices now, it's more than double. But I use the GM. I have used this bag for travel. She goes everywhere with me, weekend trips, the plane, when we are away. She'll be my beach bag, my pool bag, everywhere. You can tell she hasn't been looked after. I've learnt a lot since in looking after bags. I wouldn't put her through what I have if I was to do it again. But definitely the cost per use in this bag will be down to a fraction of a penny. She has been used that much. And that is why the GM works for me. This is not an everyday bag for me. Now, in saying that, when I first bought this bag, it was my first designer bag. I loved her so much and was so happy to have her. I used to take this bag everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I mean I would have taken this bag out with just a purse, a phone and keys in it. Nothing else. I would that's all would have been lying in the bottom of this bag. Ridiculous, I know. I didn't have an organiser at the time, didn't know about them. It would have been sagged at the bottom, and that would have been all that was in this bag, which is ridiculous. I now use this bag for work, and that is why the GM works for me. So if we take a look at what is inside, I do have an organiser in here, and I personally think for the Neverfull in the GM that the organiser is a game changer. This organiser is by Samorga. This is not sponsored. I know there's been some sponsored videos, but this isn't one of them. I do have a discount code. If you put Princess in at checkout, you'll get 20% off your total. It's not an affiliate code. I don't get anything from it. It simply just reduces the price of your purchases. But I use her to death, and if you look, this is how I go to work. And at the minute, as I say, we're not going out of the office, so at times if I'm, say it's getting colder and I have a scarf or anything on, I will take that off and throw it in here as well. What it has in it would probably be a little bit tight in the MM. I do think if you're looking a bag that is for use just like with your jeans and going out during the day to wear on your shoulder and isn't particularly a work bag, this is big. There's no denying that it's big, and the MM would certainly be worth looking at. So this is how I pack my bag, and this is what is in here. I have my laptop at the back. If it needs charged, I have in with my sunglasses, I would have the charger as well. And because of the organiser, you can just lift it out and put everything in and put the organiser back in, which makes it a little bit easier. So I have my laptop at the back. I have my water bottle here. I'm actually going to just lifted the organiser out to give you a better look of what goes into my GM. So I have my laptop at the back. I have my water bottle here, which keeps it nice and upright. In this little corner nowadays, I have my hand sanitizer, which obviously has to go everywhere with us. I have my Victorine wallet in this little slip. In this one, I have my key clay, which is dripping things, and in my key clay I have headache tablets, which is what I think part of one has just dropped out. I have a bank fob, I have spare contact lenses, I have plasters, and headache tablets, which I think is causing the mess. So that goes in there. I also have in that little slip spare masks, because again, something that has to come with us everywhere nowadays. To the side here, I have my sunglasses. Not that we need these in Ireland at the minute. If I was actually going anywhere and not just showing you what I fit in my bag, this wouldn't be in there because there's absolutely no need. I have at this side, we have a card holder and also my Louis Vuitton coin purse. So I slip those in there and they come with me during the day. This slip, I haven't taken them out, although it's a bit distracting, but I just wanted to show you how I do pack the bag. This is all to do with my business. These are all checkbooks and lodgement books for my business. So they'll come to and from the office with me. And then in here, I have spare pens. I always have pens everywhere that I go. And I have my beloved 4-ring Louis Vuitton key holder, which I think is just great to keep your keys in one place, keep them neat, keep them tidy, and protect the lining of any of your bags that aren't in these organisers. Then in the main compartment, if I take this out to show you, I have my toiletry 15 in the back, which has in it tissues, another mask, it has more headache tablets. I suffer from migraines, in case you wonder why there's headache tablets everywhere. It has soothers, it has clips, hair clips, it has my headphones. No, I don't have fancy dancy ones, or whatever they're called ones. I have the old fashioned plug in and plug in your ear ones. My husband thinks that I'm living in the dark ages, but that works for me. So that is all in my toiletry 15, which I have been taking with me at the minute. I then also have my mini pochette in here, which at the minute has in it, it has a Charlotte Tilbury compact, it has a Jo Malone perfume, it has a Dior lip gloss. So the mini pochette is in there at the back also. I then also have this Orla Keeley pouch, which is needing replaced. It's actually pulling at the top, but it also for my business is full of receipts and more pens and lady products. Sorry, it has more pens in there, it has business cards, and it has lots and lots of receipts, which you can see that I have not filed properly yet, so they need to get dealt with. So this generally always is in my work bag, because that's where I just throw any receipts that have to go through the business. And then slipping in the middle on the GM, and this is why for work for me the GM is so good, because I will also sometimes have A4 folders in here, but I also slip in the middle here. Mine is the Louis Vuitton agenda in the GM, because there's just so much to be fit in it. It works perfectly for me. Now, I will link down below for anybody that's interested. I just use Amazon inserts in this. I don't use the Louis Vuitton ones. I write too much. I use the agenda for business, for day-to-day life, and I don't think that I could justify the cost of the Louis Vuitton inserts really just for me to write on them. And anybody else that is a stationery freak, I adore stationery. These pens, if you like inky pens, I link them down below as well. I know that sounds ridiculous, but if you like inky pens, these are fabulous. So I will link them down below just in case you're a stationery freak like me. But I also carry this with me every day, and it is full. It does have, as you can see, everything in it, and it comes inside my GM as well. And then just to show you, now this is quite heavy obviously because it's got everything in it, but just to show you that this then just really slips back into your bag, and it has everything in place. Mine stays in there, I never took it out, I only took it out really to show you on the video, but that stays in there. It keeps the bag, even though my bag you can see is ruined, it keeps it in at least it holding its shape, and that is what goes in my GM. I know that people do quite often ask about the size differences and whether or not the GM or the MM. If it's a workhorse like this, that you're going to carry laptop, agendas, like business receipts, maybe a bit more organised than me, but business pouches, files, A4 pads, anything like that, then I think the GM is fantastic. Although I will say that's quite heavy now. You couldn't carry that for, well, I personally couldn't carry that for a long distance. Also, if it's for travel or weekends away, things like that, again, I think the GM's fabulous, and I will pack that full and that will come with me. I do think if it's an everyday bag though, do give the MM a bit of consideration. This is really big, and if you don't have, like, look at this, who would take this out during the day shopping? You wouldn't, or for coffee, or just to go to the shops. You don't need this sort of stuff with you. Well, I personally don't. And then the bag will be huge if you're just using it for your normal everyday needs. So I hope that's helped. I hope that gives you an insight into the GM and what it fits. As a review of this bag, mine's destroyed, but I absolutely love it. For what I use it for, it's been fantastic. This is not, you can see mine has not held up well, but I haven't looked after it. I have learnt a lot, and this is not really a reflection on the bag. If you knew what I have put this through, like all the cracking and everything in it, I can't say that it hasn't worn well or that it isn't good quality. It's what I've done to it and how I've treated it. But I think they're fabulous bags. They are just that empty space, as you can see. There's a slip pocket on the back. Now they have a pouch inside. Mine's the older one. I can do a comparison if you would like when I get the new one to show you the difference between the two. Mine doesn't have the new pouch that comes attached at the back, and mine has the old script writing, which I actually personally love. It's not the same on the new ones. It does have this clip here where you can close it, which will make it a little bit secure and just hold it together. My two ties have both come off. Again, my fault, but I caught them both in door handles. But they can be pushed in to keep the bag in like this. Even when I had them, I personally never used it like that because of what I use it for. But if you were using it on the daily, yes, you could cinch them in at the side and make it a little bit smaller. And then it just has this lovely lining. It has one zip pocket at the back, which I don't really have any. I have a headache stick in, and I have some hair clips in there. That's the only thing that's in there. I don't really use it that much now since I've got this. And then it holds so much. For me, it's a complete and utter workhorse. The only thing I would say, it doesn't have feet, and you can see if you're going to use and abuse it like I did, look at the wear. You can see I just have, that side's maybe even worse, because I've thrown it down whenever I've been at work or coffee shops or whatever, and I've got stains in mine. This is actually suntan lotion along the bottom. So that's just something to be aware of. Just as I say, I have thrown mine down. Just be a bit more careful, because the canvas at the corners can wear, because there's nothing protecting them. There's no feet or anything. But I personally think it's a fabulous bag. I know that some people will say it's overdone, that it's everywhere, that there's too many fakes about, which is true and is frustrating. But I think it's everywhere for a reason. I think it's because it's a fabulous bag. My handles, as you can say, like they're vachetta leather. Mine are patinaed beyond, like, most people's won't look like this. This again is the use I've put it through. Again, I wouldn't hold that against the bag. If you want to see as a review, if you want to see a heavily used Neverfull and what happens to vachetta when it's heavily used and not looked after, voila, this is what happens. So you do need to look after it a little bit more than I did. But as I said, it hasn't put me off the bag. It has been fabulous, and I do intend to replace it with exactly the same bag, although I think I'll get the pink lining. Just because it is so good for what I use it for. So I hope that has been helpful for anybody considering the size more than anything else. I'm sorry about the state that you're looking at in this bag, but sometimes I think it's good to see not the brand new ones as well. If you have enjoyed this, please do give it a thumbs up if you found it helpful. If you do like luxury type content, reviews, comparisons, unboxings, hauls, that sort of thing, please do subscribe. I would love to have you back. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're well, I hope you're safe, and I'll see you in the next one.